Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on November 25th, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white numbers that just came up were the 35, 37, 46, 51, and 61. Okay, so what I do is I put those winning numbers at the top of this list. And then I transfer the last 3 drawings of numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 14 red numbers, 13 orange, 15 green, 14 blue, and 13 purple. Okay, so over here to the far right, this 180 represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. So out of this 180, 95 have been a 3-color combination. 68 have been a 4-color combination. 14 have been a 2-color combination. And 3 have been a 5-color combination. And never have just 1 color come up. Okay, so what I mean by that, you can see this 3 right here, okay? This represents how many colors have just come up. So you can see that there's 2 orange, 2 purple, and a green for a total of 3 colors. Okay, and here, the drawing before that, there was 2 colors. There was 4 blue and 1 red. Okay, so that's what I mean by the number of colors coming up. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no red numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because red numbers have just had a really long streak here. Okay, so I just think that it goes way down here where it didn't have a couple of drawings in a row with no red numbers. Okay, so here, this last drawing there was no red numbers, so I just think that it's due to have a couple of misses in a row. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll over to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far with no red numbers. Okay, so when I block out a number like this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I believe will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, and how this works is up at the very top. This is the master for all the numbers. Okay, and over here to the right, these are the numbers that just barely came up. Again, it was the 35, 37, 46, 51, and 61. So we hit 4 groups. That's what this 4 is for. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card and all the groups. Okay, there's 7 groups total. Okay, so group 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. And then group 2 is the teens, then 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, so again, 7 groups total. So there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. So the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so basically how this works and how I use this is this big square right here. This is good for 5 different drawings. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm at the 4th drawing out of 5 now. All right. So the reason why I do this and why I break things into 5 is usually because I can see a majority of things, okay? And I also like to look back into the history and see how many numbers hit within these 5 drawings, okay? So, the group that I believe that won't be coming up in this drawing is the 30 numbers, okay? And the reason why is because the 30 numbers already have 6 hits within here, okay? And that's a lot of hits. If you look through the history of things, you can see that hardly ever do 6 come up, all right? So I just think that that's a lot, and I just think that no 30 numbers will be coming up in this drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card, and I'm going to eliminate the 30 numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll to the right. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, with no red numbers from the color code, and now no 30 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically what I did is I took the numbers and divided it into 4 different groups. Okay, and then I put color to these groups, and then I keep track of where the 5 white winning Powerballs land within these groups. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. Again, the winning numbers were 35, 37, 46, 51, and 61. Okay, so you can see the 35 is here in the orange. The 37 is in the green, the 46 is in the green, the 51 is in the orange, and the 61 is in the green, okay? So, 2 winning numbers in the orange area, 3 winning numbers in the green area, okay? So you can see there's no winning numbers in the red, no winning numbers in the blue, and 2 and 3 here, okay? So, the strategy is try to guess where these zeros are going to come up, okay? So that means that none of the Powerballs will land in that area. So if you guess correctly, you can eliminate all these numbers, okay, off of the game card. So basically what I did here is I started off with just this one option card, all right? And I was waiting for a 0 to come up, or waiting to guess a good opportunity when a 0 would come up. So I started making more option cards to give me more opportunities to guess where these zeros are going to come up. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards now. All right, so they're all a little bit different from each other. All right, but these numbers down here where I keep the stats, they're all the same of red, blue, orange, and green. Okay. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different, okay? So for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that these orange numbers won't be coming up, okay? I think there'll be a 0 here, okay? So the reason why is because I hit 25 drawings in a row, okay? And the record for all 15 of these option cards is 29. So this is getting pretty close to the record. And when it gets to the 20s like this, I just believe that, you know, this could go at any second. So I always guess that it's going to miss. Okay? So I've been guessing the last, I don't know, 5 drawings that there was going to be a 0 here, and I keep on getting burned. But since there's so many in a row here, I just got to take it again. So I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And again, this is where these orange numbers were. Okay. You can see that they're all gone. All right. So I'm going to go back to group 1. And the next one that I'm going to take is option card number 7, the green area. Okay, so here's option card number 7, and you can see that the green numbers have hit 23 consecutive drawings in a row. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I just think that there's going to be a 0 here, which means that none of these green numbers will be coming up, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, pick the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1 where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. So I'll show you how this works. I'll just pump this up a little bit here. Okay, and I'm going to point out this red area. Okay, so down here's the stats for the red area. And you can see this 0 here. All right, that means that none of the 5 white winning Powerballs landed in this red area. And of course, the 2 means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerballs landed in this red area. Okay, so how I do this is I keep track of every 5 drawings, okay? And I do that because it will show me a majority of things, okay? So if there's 3 or more zeros, 3 or more misses, I color this blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so I can go through the history of things, okay, and see how this group changes from hot to cold, okay? So this is kind of what random looks like. Okay, so now I'm counting on the lottery being random. So I can see that if it's going to be really hot for a while, well, I know that being random, it will change to cold, okay? So if it's going to be red for a long time, well, eventually it's going to turn blue, all right? So that's what I'm counting on here. So for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be a 0 right here in the yellow areas, all right? So I'm going to eliminate all the yellow numbers off of the game card from option card number 1 here, okay? So I'm going to go to the game card and scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, this is group 2, option card number 1, no yellow numbers. So you can see that there's no yellow numbers here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one I'm going to pick is option card number 2, no green numbers. Okay, so the reason why is here's the stats for the green. Okay, and again, I have 15 of these option cards as well for group 2, and they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so just like over here. Again, just the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. So as I go through the history, okay, you can see that green got a little bit hot right here, so I just think that this is going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so there's only one left to 27. And you can see that it's gone now. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one that I'm going to take is option card number 5. No green numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for number 5. So you can see that it kind of got pretty hot here. Okay, so I'm just going to guess that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so the only one to eliminate is the 63. You can see the 63 is gone here. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one I'm going to take is option card number 9, no yellow numbers. So here's 9. So here's the stats for yellow. And you can see that it's been pretty hot. So I just think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate the yellow numbers off of the game card. I think the only one left is this 12. So you can see the 12 is gone. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one I'm going to take, the last one, is option card 15, no green numbers. Okay, my computer's lagging a little bit. Okay, so here's the stats for green. You can see that it got hot here for a little bit. Okay, so I just think it's going to cool off, and I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, and now I'm off to the next strategy. Okay, strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. So what you're looking at is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers. Okay, so I like to keep track of that stuff and try to guess what the majority will be on the upcoming drawing here. Okay, so basically how this works is I kept track of so far of 223 drawings. Okay, and that's basically since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 223 drawings, 110 have been the majority of odd numbers. 113 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so what I like to do here is I like to keep track of every 5 drawings because it shows me a majority. Okay, so in this 5 here, out of all 5 of them, the majority was even numbers. Okay, so and basically this last drawing, I'll go back to the Powerball homepage. Again, it was 35, 37, 46, 51, and 61. So that's 4 odd numbers. So you can see that I put 4 right here. Okay, so I bolted it up so it stands out a lot. Okay, so this helps me able to predict what the next one will be. Okay, so I'm having a hard time guessing what the next one will be, so I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay, in the next one, I have high and low. So all the high numbers are in red, all the low numbers are in blue. Okay, so down here, the last drawing, they were all high numbers. All right, and again, it's been 110 drawings for the majority of high. Okay, and 113 have been the majority of low numbers. Okay, so I'm having a hard time picking that one too. So I'm going to move over to the left and right here. Okay, so here you can see that the last 4 drawings have been the majority to the right side. Okay, so I'm going to guess that this drawing coming up, the majority will be to the left side. Okay, and then the last one is red and blue. Okay, and since blue is so far behind of the majorities, okay, I'm going to guess that this is going to be a blue majority here. I think more numbers will come up in the blue area than the red area. Okay, so one last thing is this is all I have for the Powerball, the red number itself, okay? This one right here, okay, was 13, the last game, the last drawing. Okay, so basically what this column is, there's 26 red numbers total. Okay, so blue means that it's a low number, and that's 1 to 13. And red means it's a high number, 14 to 26. Okay, in this column here, red means that it's an odd number, and blue means that it's an even number. Okay, so just kind of looking over things for the last couple of drawings. You can see that this red had a really long hit here, okay? And not so much for the blue. So you can see that the red has had just single digits here. So I'm going to guess that this is going to go on a little run here. Okay, so I think that the next Powerball number will be an odd number. Okay, and I also think that this is going to be red as well. Okay, so I think it's going to be a high odd number. All right, so back to the game card. Okay, so here's the 50-50 picks. And again, my pick is that I think that more numbers will land to the left side than the right side. And I think more numbers will land to that blue area than the red area. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Okay, strategy number 6. Pick the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm all done eliminating numbers here. So now I'm going to pick from these numbers what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. All right, so first thing is I think there's going to be lots of hits from the purple area. Okay, so what that means is I'm going to go to the overview for group 2. Okay, so just give me a second here. My computer's going a little slow tonight. Okay, so this is the overview for group 2. All right. So again, I have 15 option cards. So I like to keep track of group 2 as a whole. Okay, so let me explain what I'm talking about. Okay, so like I said, they all 15 option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so what I do is I keep track of these as a group. Okay, so you can see that in the red areas there was 8 hits, 7 misses. Okay, the blue area last drawing had 6 hits, 9 misses. Okay, so since there's 15 option cards, the magic number here is 8. Okay, so if there's 8 or more misses, I color it blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits, I color it red for hot. So this helps me able to predict what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that this purple is going to go on a little run like this of red, okay? So here it has 2 of them. I think that this is going to be red as well, so I'm expecting a lot of hits in the purple area. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, all right, you can see that I have in the yellow 1 to 15. That represents all the option cards in group 2. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I'll just stay right here on number 15, okay? So here, you can see this 41 is in purple, okay? And down here on option card 15, I wrote down what was left on the game card here. So it's 6, 7, and 41, so there's the 41. and here in purple is the 6, 7. Okay, so I did that with all 15 option cards, and these are the numbers that were left on the game card here. Okay, so I'm off to the last strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so to help me pick my numbers here, I think that there's going to be 5 groups hit in the individual numbers. Okay, so let me point that out real quick for you. Okay, so again, I keep track of how many groups have hit. Last drawing was 4. Okay, so I haven't seen a 5 in a long time now. Okay, and in the past I've seen 5s all the time. So I just think that it's due to come up. Okay, it hasn't hit in 2, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15 times. So I think that this is going to be a 5. Okay, so when I pick my numbers, I want it to represent 5 groups. Okay, and another thing too is I'm going to be picking 3 colors in option card number 9 in group 2. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'll go to option card number 9, which is right here. Okay, so what I mean by that is this last drawing here, there was 2 in this color group, which is orange, 1 in purple, 1 in gray, 1 in yellow for 4 total colors, 4 total columns. Okay, that's why I put this 4 here. Okay, so I colored it green because the majority was over here to this right side. If the majority is over here to the left side, I would color it red. Okay, but the thing that I'm looking for here is, and I'll blow this up a little bit, is this 3 right here. Okay, I haven't seen a 3 in a long time. Okay, so I think that a 3 will be coming up here. So when I pick my numbers, I want it to represent 3 colors in this option card number 9. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I want it to reflect that. Okay, so the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing here are the 1, the 14, the 41, the 55, and the 60. Okay, so that will give me that 5 groups in the individual numbers. Okay, and then here in option card number 9, it will give me the same thing here as far as the 1 and the 60. Okay, are both red numbers. The 14 and the 55 are both orange numbers. Okay, and the last one is the 41, and that's a brown number. Okay, so that gives me 3 color groups here. Okay, so again, 2 in the red, 2 in the orange, and 1 in the brown. Okay, so as I look at this, the last 3 drawings were the majority over here to the right side. So I just think the majority will be over here to the left side. Okay, and having 2 in the red and 2 in the orange will make that happen. Okay, so again, the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing is the 1, 14, 41, 55, and 60. Okay, and I also thought that it would be more to the left side than the right side. So you can see that the 1 is to the left, the 41 is to the left, and the 60 is to the left. Okay, so the majority will be to the left side. And I also thought more numbers will be in this blue area. So I got the 14, the 41, and the 60 in the blue area. Okay, so just putting those all together, This is how I came up with these numbers of 1, 14, 41, 55, and 60. Okay, folks, I appreciate you watching. I'm always looking for people to play my game, so instead of charging a fee to play, I like to charge a commission for using my system. 1% if you get all 5 white balls correct. You can read the fine print. And if you're interested, you can email me at trm6776@gmail.com. All right? And if you're interested, you could check out my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. All right, folks, I really appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.